Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast today. This audio podcast is part of the Beaker Bout. This audio podcast is part of the Storm and Bostix and etiology. This audio podcast as part of the Bostix Enigma. This audio podcast as part of the Colossus, and this audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production. Today, looking at a overview of a publication in around 2022, works by Mohammed and team from 2022, looking at transplant neuroimmunobiology, the immune system and transplant rejection, and neuroendocrinology, a retrospective. The publication, a sort of summary, is as the following. So, leukocyte and lymphocyte migration or trafficking from peripheral blood into to affected tissues is an essential component of the inflammatory reaction to virtually all forms of injury and disease or conditions. So the aims here were to highlight how specific immunological and neuroendocrine markers can reduce chemokine migration and acute allograft rejection or AAR. The publication sort of informs the investigation that investigation sort of uniting or sort of interlinking immunobiology and neuroimmunobiology and AAR or acute allograft rejection is still rare. One of the main conclusions is that chemokines appear to be sort of the main sort of players or integral players between immunobiology and neuroimmunobiology, and using an MDT or multidisciplinary sort of laboratory practice, multidisciplinary laboratory practice or practices should encourage a sort of understanding of acute allograft rejection or AAR. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of the Beaker Bout. This audio podcast is part of the Bostix Enigma. This audio podcast is part of a Ztorm and Bostix and etiology. This audio podcast is part of the Colossus, and this audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production.